Attention business owners, this is your captain speaking. Fasten your seatbelts as we prepare your business to take off. Hi, I'm Joe, your captain of online reviews. Give me a thumbs up if your reputation is important to your business success. Excellent, thank you, and welcome on board. Today, online reviews tell your prospects about the quality of services that you provide. As a matter of fact, online reviews are the new word-of-mouth advertising, so if you don't have a flight plan in place to get 5-star reviews, your reputation could be hijacked by one bad review, crashing your business. So what we do is we put you in the cockpit with our automation called Give Me a Thumbs Up. Our technology can actually predict whether your clients will write a good review or a bad review before we even ask them. So if you'd like to learn more about this technology, book your flight with Captain Joe today so that tomorrow you can sit back, relax, and watch your 5-star business take off.
Born into a real fight wasn't right. Where can she dream here?
Hey everybody, how's it going? Zach Clayton, Community Pay It Forward, Community Dare to Care, and the pACT channels. I need to take a minute and I need to apologize to everyone. We have been a little sporadic the last couple weeks. I've kind of been collecting, you guys always see my bracelets and stuff. I've been collecting quite a few hospital bracelets the past couple days. Had a couple things happen. Just haven't felt that great. And I really feel guilty because I think I did us a great disservice. September is Suicide Awareness Month, and we didn't have a show on Footprints Forward the last 2 weeks. And I just want to let everyone know I take full responsibility for that. And I am so sorry that happened. We will, that was never the intention. And I just need to let everybody know I am so sorry about that. There's no such thing as making up for that, but I will continue to work to improve, and we'll get stuff going. On the Footprints Forward news, starting Monday, Footprints Forward is moving. It's no longer going to be in the morning. We've had too many people say, look, I would like to respond, but you guys are on in the morning when I'm at work. So starting on Monday, Footprints Forward is going to be on from 6 p.m. East, 4 p.m. Mountain, 5 Central, 3 Pacific. So we tried to get it further into the early evening hours, but not too late, because, let's be honest, Monday, who wants to come home and turn on a computer on Monday? Well, you know what? This gives you something that maybe you can listen to on your way home, because we do have the great guests that we've had before recently. Every single guest on that show is so important. Again, Footprints Forward is plain and simple. It's about dealing with the suicide epidemic. It's out of hand. It's out of hand. We're losing way too many people. Now today, we are premiering, and I am so excited about this. We've got a brand new platinum partner of mine, Publio Casillas, is working with me. He is a 20-year Air Force veteran, And he and I are going to put on the last Wednesday of every month, we're going to put on a show called Our Heroes Community and Country and Community, where we're going to be talking to business owners and nonprofits that are heroes, school teachers, firefighters, first responders, law enforcement, and of course, veterans. You guys and gals have done so much for our country, and you're now joining the business world, and we want to bring you in and give you the kudos that you deserve. I would like to maybe even take in and add something to this. If you are just getting out of the service, or even if you've been out of the service for a while, and you want to kind of tell people about what you can do in hopes of finding a job, contact us. Maybe we can bring you on for a little bit and we can record a little segment, and maybe people can hear what you've got, and maybe we can help get you a job. So welcome to our first ever episode of Our Heroes, honoring our heroes, both country and community. And I want to welcome my wonderful, wonderful, wonderful friend, brand new family member, and great partner, Publio Casillas. How you doing, brother?
Hey, how you doing? How you feeling?
It's like I said, I did have nerve endings injected today. Little sore. Back when I drank, I didn't mind when I got hit with a dart every once in a while. I was drunk. I didn't care. I don't drink anymore. It kind of hurts a lot more now. and that whole, age thing. I'm not young anymore. Yeah. So, but how are you doing, brother?
I'm well. I've been working. I got myself a 9-to-5 sort of for a while to keep things, afloat. So I've been training. I've been traveling over Texas right now, and I'm actually in Seguin, Texas, with my my wingman.
Yeah.
And we're out here working.
Well, you just heard one of mine. I don't know what he went wild about, but who can ever tell? Publio, why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself and tell us about your two companies?
Okay, give me 1 second.
Yep. Okay, and when...
I'm sorry, I'm back. AC
no.
was making all kinds of noise.
Okay, that's fine. Go on ahead and why don't you do your introduction? Let's let people know what you've got going on.
Okay. Well, the big picture thing is Zafeiri. It's another veteran friend of mine and I we're working now. We're starting to get collaborators in on it's a business consulting firm. It's actually going pretty quick. They're doing some really neat stuff. Unfortunately, I've had to back away a little bit because of family constraints and stuff, but it's fantastic. We're here to help businesses that are struggling with structure or money, cash flow, those kind of things, that are having trouble working in this economy and the way it's working. We get some really smart guys and gals working with us now, and it's very humbling. My other thing I got going on is Davey, which I'm putting together, which I'm right now I'm working with another guy named Z, great guy I met through Zach. We're trying to put together my website. I'm going to start doing some leadership courses for online for people to hopefully learn more about servant leadership. In my experience, or at least what I've seen in the past few years, is that people don't know really what leadership is. I mean, we're taught it in the military and we live it, but a lot of civilians, they're just kind of ad-libbing it and they think they know what they're talking about. And it's frustrating because I hear a lot of things about people worried about turnover and morale, and they're doing all the wrong things, which is unfortunate. So hopefully I can help that. My goal is really to help people get on top of these issues and hopefully have happy employees and have a happy workforce. But anyways, that's what I'm doing now. My day job, I'm actually back to managing plasma centers, which is interesting in itself. But I get a chance to meet a lot of people and talk to people and shake hands. And I wouldn't say kiss babies, but babies can't come in those places. So it's a lot of fun. I enjoy people, so it's nice.
one of the more unique things about what you've got going on with Zafeiri is that you guys are not going to walk into a business and you're not going to sit there and go, you're not going to be yes men.
No,
or
it
women.
can't be.
You're going to be, look, we're going to lay it out on the line. Love it or leave it.
Yeah.
It is what it is. We're going to tell you what we see. If you don't like it, well, sorry, right?
That's right. Some people don't like to hear that. Some people want people to come in and reaffirm, I guess, their thought process. But the thing is, if it's not working, it's not working. You have to look at it from another light. And sometimes you need that. It's almost like an intervention. You know, you have all your friends over, you walk in, they all look, we got to talk, you know, and that's the exact same thing. It's just that it's a hard thing to do. It's a hard pill to swallow sometimes. And if anybody needs that help, let me know, get in contact with me. And, you know, my goal is to help you be successful. And it's tough sometimes. I know.
Yep. Well, I am so thrilled that you have decided to take this journey with me. This is one of the shows that, and I love hearing that you're working with Z. He is,
I love that guy.
So talented. I mean, he is seriously one of the most just even keeled, and he's got an energy to him that is hard to believe because he's so monotone, you know.
Yeah, it's peaceful. I like it.
Yeah.
I feel good every time I talk to him.
You know that if you're in an emergency situation, he's going to be the one who's going to keep his head and keep people safe. You just know that because he is that guy. So, but you can get a hold of Publio at 228-383-3169. Once again, that's 228-383-3169. You work all over the country, right?
Yeah, we'll go anywhere. The goal is to help people out, especially people that need it. You know, I mean, sometimes you don't know you need. If you know someone who needs that help or that's something, let them know or let us know, and we'll try to help them out.
Well, that sounds great. You can also get him on his email at publio@zafeiricorp.com. Once again, that's publio@zafeiricorp.com. Blah, blah, blah. Okay, now I am still on drugs. Okay, so if I start stumbling and biting my tongue and stuff, I probably just got hungry. You know, I haven't eaten much today. So, and I am a fat guy, so eating is important to me. We are thrilled to bring in our first guest. He is so important to me personally. I met Bart after he lost the woman he loved. He brought us donations of clothing that he was holding on to make sure that it got to the right people. And Bart cared enough to bring them to us because we give away the clothes for free. It's part of the Community Dare to Care program. And when Bart and I were sitting there talking, we got into the conversation about his wonderful program, Veterans Honoring Veterans. And we started talking a little bit more. And what could have possibly been a 10-minute conversation ended up being like an hour and 15 minutes. I think it was not a cool day. I mean, it was a pretty warm day, but this man means so much to me because of the trust that he puts into us and the support he gives us. One of the other great things about it is if you hire Publio to do a job, you can donate a portion to Bart and Veterans Honoring Veterans. We're going to bring on Bart now. Hello, my brother. How are you?
Hey, I'm doing great, Jack. Doing great.
You know, Bart, we got to come in and hang out with you again last Saturday. As you guys were doing the presentation that you guys do at Golden Corral, honoring so many. You guys honor so many heroes. And the great thing about it is that you guys are not focused on like one era. They can be, and you're not focused on a war either. You're focused on the veteran themselves, right?
Yep. We're focused on the person, not what they did. Well, actually, yes, what they did, because if they raised their right hand, said that they would swear to uphold the Constitution of the United States, that's a veteran to me, whether they saw combat or not.
Right now, we're working to raise money mainly for Northern Colorado, but with financial support, you guys will have statues created and we'll ship them out.
Absolutely.
Can you tell us? Can you tell us a little bit about the statues? And I'm going to go on ahead and I'm going to show the statues so people can see them as you're talking. But if you would like to tell us a little bit more about these statues and the story behind them, because I know Publio hasn't heard this yet, and I think that he's just absolutely going to love this.
Well, first thing I want to do is invite Publio to a breakfast. I know you're in Texas right now, but keep in mind that every Saturday morning, not once a month, not once a year, but every Saturday morning, we have a breakfast club at the Golden Corral in Loveland. It's called PAM Vets, Proud American Veterans, and we're averaging anywhere from 100 to 170 people every Saturday. We only had 140 something this last Saturday, but we've had over 230 some people come in, and 99% of those are veterans. So anyway, what Zach's showing you now is a little, probably about 12, 15-inch resin statue of the different branches of service. We've got the 4 branches, Army, Navy, Air Force, Marine, and the Navy and Coast Guard are synonymous. We just changed the name on the bottom of it because our uniforms are so much alike. And then the very bottom one, on I guess it would be on your right, is an American eagle with the wings extended out and his talons hanging on to a beautiful red, white, and blue American flag. That was the only thing we had for probably about the first 3 years of our program, because we didn't have the one that you see on the left. So we was giving that to all of our lady veterans who served our country. And then we come up with the other ones. Now they have an option. And the other one is just a young female who is standing at attention, saluting as she is in what depend on the branch, fatigues, camos, or whatever you want to call them, but it's pretty much their day-to-day work clothes. So now they have an option of having both of them. But those 6 statues, since we started in July of 2018, we have presented over 650 of them to veterans. And again, like Zach was saying, we focus mostly on Northern Colorado, but we have expanded out. We're working on our website all the time. I got a couple gals that's trying to make things a little bit easier to get through there, because I heard in kind of the commercial that, you know, if you don't tell people what you're doing and what's happening, they're not going to visit your website, and they're probably not going to come in and be part of your plan. So I'd like to talk a little bit about your suicide awareness, Zach.
Yeah, by all means, Bart. And Publio, if you have any questions, brother, this is your show, so please pipe in and ask any questions you have. Bart, like I said, Bart's a great guy. But yeah, go on ahead, Bart, please.
Well, the reason I want to talk about it is due to the fact that this month is Suicide Awareness Month. And last month, up in Fort Collins, I was at a function. It was kind of a thank you picnic that the Veterans Plaza was doing on at Fort Collins. And
another great program.
Yeah, we had a table up there, and we were meeting veterans and talking to them as we were going through the day. And this young lady walked by, and she had a small boy with her, and as I do with everybody, I reach out and say hello and ask them if they are a veteran, and if they say no, I ask them if they have a family member or a friend that's a veteran. So when I reached out to this young lady, she said, "No, I'm not a veteran, but my son was a veteran." And I said, "Wait." I said, "Well, great. I said, we can honor family members, and we'd like to do that." And she approached the table, and she said, "Well, I lost my son in 2015 to suicide." Well, that kind of put a stop on my happy welcome. I want to give you a statue type thing. It kind of hit me right between the eyes, and I never had that happen to me before in this program. So I had to kind of regroup real quick and figure out how I was going to handle this and make it work. So I got to visiting with her a little bit, and when I told you at the onset, this was a young lady with a small boy. Well, she was a grandmother of this young boy, and she really don't look her age, and that's 100% compliment to her. And I won't be saying names, but should she see me doing this by just slim chance, she's going to know that it's all in retrospect at what a beautiful lady is. But anyway, long story short, I got to talk to her and ask her if it would be possible for our organization to get the information on her son and present her with a statue in remembrance of her son. And she humbly said, "Well, yes, she'd really like that." And so probably within a month, I talked her into coming and coming to a breakfast, and we presented her a statue. And as you were showing those pictures, she's not on there yet because it was so recent that we haven't got them updated. But when I presented her the statue, her grandson was there, and her grandson quietly reached over and talked to Grandma and says, "Who's going to get that, Grandma? Is that going to be yours or mine?" And that was kind of cute. And she says, "Well," she says, I guess we'll have to talk about it." And they were both wearing T-shirts with hers saying "my son" and had his picture and his information on the U.S. Army, and his T-shirt said "my uncle" and his picture with the information on it. So they was representing him. Well, she was up at this function. Well, I take that back. Memorial Day. I'm getting ahead of it. Memorial Day is when I met her and the grandson, and then the picnic was kind of a follow up to all that stuff. That's when I found out the information about her, and then just recently we did the presentation. Well, I felt compelled to make sure that grandson was not disappointed, and Mom was not disappointed. So we made a duplicate statue, and nice. She made sure her grandson had one of his uncles.
Look, I'm going to tell you, Bart, I think that's one of the things that I love about you the most is that you are willing to go be above and beyond for these families. When we did our first Family Cubs and Causes, which I'm proud to announce we're going to be announcing number 2. Finally, we're going to do it again. But when we did that, we were able to honor a couple of veterans with their families. One of them being my uncle who passed just a few years ago. And then we also honored the family of the soldier that the park is named after.
Oh, wow.
Which was so cool because it was his nephew, if I remember correctly. It was like his great nephew or something like that. Yeah, but they had no idea that we were doing it. And the VFW called the family, and his nephew came down and accepted the wonderful gift. And it was so cool. And then I tell this story every time because this is one of the neatest things. Somebody gaffed on getting Bart all of the registration forms. I won't say his name or anything. I'll just let him go without anybody knowing who it was. But Bart presented an individual from Korea one of these statues, and this was one of his sample statues. So this one didn't have the little plaque to it or anything. This little old man, it was the cutest thing. It actually brought a tear to my eye. Took and grabbed that thing like it was an Oscar. This little man was so excited. And we were trying to tell him, sir, we're going to get you one with your name on it. It's going to be all yours. And he still didn't want to give it up. He just wanted to keep it. It is so neat watching these veterans be able to do what they should be getting, to feel honor and to be thanked for what they did, and the way that they, the way that they react to it is one of the best things in the world. So,
well, that is a big thing, and as Zach mentioned, this Korean War veteran assumed that was his, and it wasn't explained very well, and it took a couple explanations on our part, saying, well, this is just a mock-up of what they all look like. We'll get you a brand new one with all the information you did. And he still, like his Zach said, he still didn't understand it, but we finally convinced him, and I went and got the nameplate and put it on there and then mailed it to him. So
that's awesome.
Now the end of the story, Zach, on this young lady, she's been participating in all different types of events this month because of suicide awareness, and most of them are on the weekends. But at the plaza, when I talked to her and visited with her a little bit more, both of her daughters, one of her son-in-laws, all of her grandkids were all there because she was so impressed with what's going on in the veteran community. And then she was going to come up and see me and introduce all of her family to me. That I asked her, I said, with your passion coming to breakfast and seeing what's going on and what you do outside the community, what would you think about being a volunteer with Veterans Honoring Veterans? She said, well, I think that'd be great. And the kids heard that and say, that is what mom needs, because mom is still pretty hurt. It's only been, it's been several years, but that hurt don't go away. And
never.
The reason will never be known, but she is now a volunteer with Veterans Honoring Veterans, and we're just happy to have her, and we'll find her a job to do. But this is a passion, and like you said, with this little Korean War veteran, I've seen tears come from Vietnam, World War II, Korean eyes, just because somebody said thank you to them by handing them something that is a $1.98 at the store. It don't have a lot of value, but it has a lot of meaning, and that's the win-win in this thing. When like you said, when he got a hold of that statue, that was an Oscar to him.
He was not going to let that go. Hey, everybody, I'd like to introduce, this is Jerry Clayton. He is my father. And my dad served in the Vietnam era. Bart, you remember my dad. Yep.
Nice to see you again.
Good to see you.
Yeah, we were in Germany towards the tail end of Vietnam. Dad was a communications
6-station technical control. 2 Delta.
So,
yeah, 2 Delta.
And one of the reasons I want my dad to be a big part of this show because of his veteran background, but I think that he is just perfect for this show because of this reason right here. And Publio, if you look up here.
Oh, look at that.
My dad got his own, and I get to do this now. Oh, come on, get that light out of there. But it has his name. It has his, everything that you need in it. Berlin. Vietnam era, Berlin, everything that it's about the individual.
Yeah.
It's about them, and that's what makes these so special. Dad, tell me, what was the first thing that you felt when you got that?
Got
The statue, yeah, when you were awarded that.
Well, I feel great, you know, that somebody is paying attention and, you know, doing giving it, you know, thinking of it and giving it to me. I liked it. I mean, I was kind of proud, you know. Didn't spend any time in Nam, but I was in Berlin.
You know, Clayton, that's what I tell everybody. It doesn't matter where you went, and I'm going to give a short explanation of what a veteran is. Clayton, let's say you and I we're pretty close to the same age, and we're buddies in high school, and we decide that we want to join the military.
Right.
And we know there's a war going on in Vietnam, but we go down to recruiter and we go to basic training. From the time we raised our right hand until we graduated from basic training, we had no idea where we was going to be assigned.
Yeah.
We didn't know if we was going to be handed a rifle and a backpack and say, go to Vietnam, or if we was going to be handed a pencil and pushed at a desk and say, okay, now you're going to be writing orders and I'll sign them and you send those guys over to Vietnam. It
Right.
didn't make any difference when you raised your right hand in boot camp because you said, I will go anywhere. I will do anything.
I have property.
You betcha. You are their property. You will do whatever you're told. Yeah. And if you don't volunteer, they'll voluntold you.
Yeah.
I love that.
So
In there.
So that's what a veteran is.
Yeah.
I decided on 4 years, and I think Clayton, you decided on 4 years. But here, Publio, he did 20, and
Wow,
God bless you for doing that.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, that's great. I wish I would have extended it in my full lifetime looking back. However, you know, I wasn't 74 back then. So.
You know, I was going to say, I really got to get one of these for my father-in-law. My father-in-law, Jim Talbot, he's ex-Army, I think during the same era. And he was in, I think it was mobile infantry, like cavalry for the Army. And they used to use reconnaissance. He's a great guy, but he's starting to get older. And I think this would be fantastic for him. I'm going to have to get with you, Bart, on that.
Well, yeah. I gave you guys an introduction over the email. I'd love for you guys to keep in contact. But I mean, if there's anything that we can do to maybe help raise a little bit of money so we can get that done, that would be great.
One thing that I like it all, but when I do an individual, it's wonderful. But when I can do a family is so important. This last Saturday, did you get there in time for the presentation, Zach?
Well, I caught the very tail end of it. I think we got the one that was so, I thought was so unique was the founder or the main character for Pam Vet. You guys were honoring him. That's one that I was able to see.
Okay. Right.
Yeah. So, but I think I saw like two more before him.
This last week, real quick, and not to try to focus on this too much, but I've been, and I'm going to use the term chasing. I've been chasing this young female Marine for at least a year.
You're too old for that.
Huh?
I said you're too old for that.
No, I'm not. Never too old. Anyway, by the means of chasing, trying to get her convinced to receive a statue. She was in OIF and OEF, and she felt that Vietnam, Korea, and World War II are more important. And I appreciate that, and I love her for that, because to her, she should think that those wars were more important than her war. But she is now just as important. She is in that category. So anyway, I talked to her about 3 weeks ago, and I asked her once again, I said, how are we going to convince you to receive a statue? Because we feel that you're just as deserving as everybody. She says, let me ask you a question, Bart. She says, my mom lives out of state and she's coming to town, and she was also a Marine. I raised up my hands. I said, fantastic. I said, yeah, let's do that. I said, we can get them both at the same time. And then she stopped me and she says, and my dad was a Marine too. And my dad's passed now. I said, well, not a problem. I said, we'll do one posthumously for him. And kind of like we did the founder of the name at the park up there in Eaton, or all Eaton.
And my Uncle Bill on that same day.
Uncle Bill. So anyway, last Saturday, she got her mother to come to breakfast just as a guest to sit down and see what was going on. Had no idea she was going to get a statue. Had no idea that I had one for her late husband. So when I announced the daughter to come up and gave her statue, Mom just sat there just a clapping and just as proud as she could be. And then I stopped and I said, also at breakfast today, we have Shannon's mother, who is also a Marine. And Sherry, would you please come up and accept this statue from us? Well, they both got the Eagles. And then I said, Sherry, I said, I'm sad to have to bring this up again, but I understand you lost your husband. And I said, he was also a Marine. So would you honor us to let us give you a statue in memory of your husband? Well, you talk about tears flowing. There was just a mass of mascara on the floor of the Golden Corral for about 3 days because mom just lost it. When mom lost it, daughter lost it. And then sort of the crowd started losing it. So it was a very, very emotional, well-received 3 statues by those 3 gals. So you and did you say Uncle Publio?
No, my father-in-law. And actually, his sister, my aunt-in-law, is that right?
Yeah.
She was in the Army and the Navy too. And I was just writing you a message to see if I could get because their whole family's military.
Absolutely. You know,
they're wonderful people.
If you can hold it down to 7 family members, because we start running out of room at the Golden Corral to put all those people in. No, I'm just joking. If you had 10, we would try to do it.
I want to share this with everyone because this is one of the ways that you can support Bart and veterans honoring veterans simply by, again, shopping with someone like Publio. Simply use his business, utilize his coaching, and all you have to do is scan this QR code you see up in the corner. You scan this QR code and you add the receipt or the invoice Publio is going to give you. And Publio has dedicated a referral to us at Community Pay It Forward. That referral is going to turn into an 80% donation of whatever we get. 80% of that is going to go to veterans honoring veterans or whoever you choose to support. It's one of the easiest ways possible to donate. And, you know, the greatest thing about this is, folks, we're not asking you to pull your wallet out of your pants. We're asking you to do the business that you got to do. Publio needed a new website. And now with this website, he's going to be able to make a donation to someone. As soon as that website's done, he's going to be able to take and make a donation to someone simply because he went to the great Mr. Z, and we're going to take and go from there. And Publio is going to tell us, hey, you know what? I want this money to go to wherever he sends it. And that's how this works. It's so simple to do. If you want this QR code, simply send me an email or give me a call or go to the website. You can find it on the website. In the search bar, just hit Veterans Honoring Veterans. It'll pop up. You'll have this QR code and the QR codes of all of our other partners. But it's as simple as that. You scan this QR code and you go. So,
and I want to throw in a plug there. if anybody's looking for web stuff, Z is phenomenal. He's a great guy, very, very smart, very, very. Yeah, I mean, I'm humbled to be talking to him when I do. He's a great guy, and yeah. So if you get that opportunity to work with him, he's phenomenal.
We were talking about that earlier. It's like, if you're ever in a building that's on fire, he's the guy that you're going to want in there because he's going to be so calm and he's going to lead, he's going to save lives. So, Bart, why don't you go on ahead and tell us the story about why you started Veterans Honoring Veterans? I love this story, so I want to hear it again.
All right. Anytime I get to talk, I'm happy to talk. I'm like a chatty Cathy, baby. I said, give me the microphone. Anyway.
My friend, you're always welcome to come to this house and talk whenever you want.
Thank you very much. I was at a ship's reunion. My ship got decommissioned in 1970. And since that decommissioning, we've had a reunion ever since. We've had over 50 reunions now. Just because we want to. And I'm proud to say I'm currently the president of our reunion committee, and we're getting ready to have another reunion in November. But anyway, I'm at this ship's reunion, and my wife's still alive, and we're at the banquet on Saturday night, and things are going on like banquets do, and drawings and winning this, winning that, and stuff like this. And then they introduced this one former sailor of the ship, and he gets up there and he's in full uniform, a Navy commissioned officer, lieutenant commander, which is like a major. And he comes up there and he talks a little bit, and he says, "Would John Doe please come up?" And when John Doe came up there, "John Doe, I want to thank you for doing this and doing that and doing this," and handed him one of these little statues of a sailor. And boy, the applause just went great, and they did one more. And I'm thinking, well, God, that's pretty cool. So the night went on, and the banquet's running down, and I go find him, and I just asked him. I said, "Hey, is this a franchise?" I said, "Are these all over the United States? Can you buy into them?" Or what? He said, "No." He said, my home state." He says, "I found a person that makes these statues or has access to these statues, and I buy them from her and I give them away." I said, "Well," I said, "that's pretty cool." I said, "With your permission." He said, "You don't have to have my permission." I said, "Sir, you're a commander and I wasn't." I said, "With your permission, I'd like to go ahead and continue with this." He says, "All right." So I went and I started my own nonprofit. I came back, found 5 or 6 people, one civilian. So I get the civilians feedback and stuff like that. And then I got 5 other veterans, and now I've got I think 15 volunteers and 11 board members, and
wow,
we've had a nonprofit going on for quite a while. 2021 and 2022, we were close to shutting the doors because we were going from weekend to weekend to trying to keep the statues going, because they cost a little bit to get the statue made and then the nameplate put on there. So they're absolutely not free, but our goal is we will not have a veteran pay anything for them. We give them to them absolutely free, and that's the goal, because we want to thank them. And if I sell it to you, why thank you? Other than being a wholesaler now, and I don't want to do that. So anyway, we've been doing, like I said earlier, we're damn near at 700, but we've presented over 650 statues since we started, and it's just great. You're talking about Z being a firefighter. I'm proud to say I'm a 22-year ex-state patrolman here in Colorado.
Oh wow!
And did that for a career, and it just really enjoyed that. Now the firefighters make friends. We cops, we don't make very many friends. we don't get Christmas baskets for Christmas and a bottle.
Well,
of
you
whiskey.
damn well should. And if they knew you, I'm pretty sure they would give you. I mean, you are one of the kindest people I've ever met. Bart, that's actually something, and shame on me for not doing this. That's something that we never bring up enough, is your service as an officer. I've had you on my podcast maybe 5 times now, and I've kind of neglected to bring that up, and shame
Not a
on me
problem.
for doing that. But that was almost like serving again, wasn't it?
Well, as you led into this, what the name of your show is, serving the country and community. That's kind of what we're talking about. Is I was proud to be a veteran to serve my country, and I got out. I wasn't out but 3 years, and I was in the state patrol. And again, I raised my hand to protect the state of Colorado and anybody that comes into it. So it was an honor to do that. And when I said I don't make friends, you really don't. But if they can drive away, maybe not until the ink's dry on their ticket. When they drive away, they might say sometime, I deserve that. I'm kind of glad he did that. It made me wake up. I probably should pay a little bit more attention. So I say to myself that I might have touched somebody in my career that might have appreciated either
I'm sure you did,
with a warning or a ticket or whatever. But that's my story, and I'm sticking to it.
I bet money on that.
Did Publio, did you have any questions?
No, it's wonderful to meet you, Bart. I'm really excited about hitting you up on these statues, because I know that what makes this thing so great that you're doing is that I know a lot of veterans sometimes get mixed up in the wash and lose, I guess, that identity and that respect that comes with the sacrifice. And the sacrifice sometimes is not what we all think it is. Sometimes it's something could be inside and it hurts. And like you mentioned before, the Suicide Awareness Month, I've got, friends of mine in the military who have passed from self-inflicted or, health issues and stuff. And it's tragic in any way. And I hate that they pass from our memory and I don't know. I get emotional on it too, because I've got some very good friends that passed recently, and I appreciate what you're doing.
We don't have an outreach other than this. We have a business card that we give for the PAMVET breakfast, and our one of our goals now is just to get you into breakfast to see the camaraderie of 150 veterans sitting down from 30 years old to 100 years old.
It's awesome.
We got World War II guys in there that are a couple have been 100 or are 100 years old. So, and if we can get someone in, whether it be a Vietnam who's still struggling or now a Gulf War veteran that is really struggling because it's so fresh, if we can get them in there somehow to see what's going on, and then get their name and present them with the statue. That's a possibility. We don't know who we're saving.
Yeah.
When you befriend someone, you wear a hat. I wear a hat. When I'm in a mall, I'm looking for hats because I want to make sure everybody knows that I appreciate what they did, and there's other people that appreciate it too. Come to breakfast, and I'll prove it to you. Because we introduce you. We applaud you, and
that's awesome.
We start out with a pledge and a prayer. It's just great. So what I'll do is, I've got your email address. What I'll do is I will send you a form to fill out for you and your family, and then I'll contact you, and then we'll figure out a day that all three of you, when you're in state and you can all come on the same Saturday, we'll work it out.
Okay, and I'll tell you, we're going to be going up to Colorado soon, because like I told Zach a while back, I'm going to be a grandfather, and my son's in Colorado. But on another note, I wanted to point this out too, is that I've got my son, my other son, and my kind of adopted nephew into the family are both looking at joining the Army in the next month. And one of the things that I've talked to both of them about was the fact that it's camaraderie you'll never see anywhere else. And it's something that, because they're a little bit concerned. Of course, their mothers are concerned, and I'm hearing that part too. But the thing is, they're good kids, and they're going to make me proud, and they're going to love every minute of it. And I'm excited for them.
I would just like to, I would like to say, if you get them into something like PAM Vet, it's a lot, it shows them that it's not just camaraderie of one person and their platoon. This is from generation to generation to generation.
That's incredible.
And it's not like, and please believe me when I say this is no bash on the VFWs or anything like that. But this is not a social club. This is men and women who have served our country out there celebrating each other. And they're there to enjoy a breakfast and talk. And it's such a beautiful thing. It really is. And Bart, you guys have one individual who was in, I could be wrong here, but wasn't he in World War II,
wow,
Korea, and Vietnam?
Yes.
Good Lord.
Yeah.
He is
the cutest little old man.
30-year Navy guy. Publio.
But he's tough as nails.
Well, he's not as tough as nails anymore, but he's got a pretty good grip on him. But he was on a cargo ship, a merchant ship in Okinawa in 1945, close to the end of the war, and his ship got hit by a suicide plane.
Oh wow!
And it blew up in the front part of the ship, and he got some shrapnel from it, and he's 98 years old. He's starting to have some arthritis in his knees. It's caused him some discomfort, but
starting.
He still tools around, and
wow,
he does. Dad, did you have any questions or any comments?
No, I mean, it's great to see support for the veterans. You know, I know the people that went to Nam came back and wasn't really received very well.
Yeah.
And like my cousin Barry, and
well, see now, Clayton,
so
we're having an opportunity. We're having an opportunity to thank those Vietnam veterans that were disrespected. We're not pointing that out. We're not saying, "Hey, come up, Vietnam veteran. Here's something that we'll give you now because you didn't get it back then." But when they get it, a lot of them say, "You know, I didn't get this when I came back. Nobody said thank you. Nobody cared. They didn't like us. We had baby killers. You know, they treated us like hell." Hey,
and it's subtle.
I want to point out your shirt, Clayton. I love the American flag, and I'm glad you got your shirt. I gotta show off my shirt. I don't know.
There you go.
Oh, look at that. I've seen the commercials for those.
I am a veteran like my father. I love that. Yeah.
That's
well,
awesome.
we can honestly say that both of my grandfathers were also in World War II, and they both have Grandpa Crawford was in the Navy, and my grandpa Dorwin, my dad's dad, he was a medic. And, what you're doing, Bart, the subtlety of it is just something to where, to somebody who's outside the loop, they may just be sitting there going, "Oh, isn't that cute?" But inside, when you get one of these, the little man who took this thing and grabbed it like it was an Oscar.
Wish we would have videotaped that.
I'm sorry.
I wish we would have too. That would have been fun.
Yeah. We're gonna start. I would like to start recording them and putting them on a podcast or something for you guys, because I think that the veterans deserve it, and two, I think you guys deserve it because what you guys are doing is so great.
You guys are Bart is fantastic. Oh, I want to point something out real quick. Both my grandfathers were military members too. My grandfather on my mother's side was a Marine, and my grandfather on my father's side was in the Army, artillery, I think.
Well,
A lot of family. Yeah.
Yeah, Dad actually had a Silver Heart from the medic in the army, from the army.
wow.
Wow.
So, and it's so funny, and I was thinking about this, Bart, when I met the individual that we were just talking about, the 30-year, you know, how physically, how much smaller they are. You know, I saw my grandfather's coat, his service jacket, and I was looking at it, and I'm like going, I couldn't have fit in that thing when I was 7, you know. And I definitely couldn't have fit in it now. You know, I mean, we've all seen the movie Fat Guy in a Little Shirt. Yeah, well, this wouldn't have even, you know, I'd have more chance getting into a onesie, I think. But, you know, it's just, it's amazing that with all the troubles in Publio, I want to give your you know, your family, I want to give them all the kudos in the world. We've got 1% right now of our kids are joining the service.
Yeah.
And it's because I don't want to get into anything political here. Don't dare I do that. But they're being disrespected. They're not being treated like a hero should be treated. These people give up their lives.
Yeah.
They're told, hey, you know who you are? That ain't you no more. Now you're who I tell you you are. You know, what's the old saying? You know, your heart better belong to Jesus because your ass belongs to me.
Yeah.
You know, this is really what, you know, these kids are going through. And right now we've got a real problem with getting kids to join the service. And I do suggest, Publio, if you can, find something like a PAM vet, because it's a wonderful program, and get those kids in there and introduce them. They're wonderful, wonderful individuals in there too. I mean, they walk around the stores, they walk around the restaurant, they play with the kids, they do, you know, they see kids at the tables and they'll walk up to them, and you got a guy in there that makes little wooden crosses and does things with flags and stuff like that. You know, you graciously gave me my coin. And I love these coins.
That's cool.
And an awesome bracelet, you know. I am proud to be a small piece of Veterans Honoring Veterans. It's one of my favorite, you know, it's one of my favorite missions. It truly is.
Well,
because you're one of my favorite people. So,
well,
to be honest with you.
Zach, I can say all the same thing about you, buddy. You're just you're an inspiration of what you're doing and how hard you work to keep this going. I can't get on all of your pods, but by God, I tell you what, I don't know how you do it. You just burning the candle at both ends, and coming today when you should probably be laying down resting and trying to feel a little bit better. You're going above and beyond. So thank you for what you do and how you reach out to the public, and how I met you and what you did for me, making sure that my wife's clothing would find a good home.
Like I said, that was a very, very special introduction to me because of what it meant to you and what it meant to your wife. And so just going from there and then just building this relationship, you helping me honor my father and my uncle, that meant so much to me. And I'll never forget that. So
Thanks so much.
Your website, Bart, is veteranshonoringveterans.org.
Correct.
Your Facebook page, I believe, is NOCO Veterans Honoring Veterans, is it not?
Correct.
Okay, yeah. There is another Veterans Honoring Veterans out there, so please remember to put that NOCO, which stands for Northern Colorado Veterans Honoring Veterans. And
that's the Facebook.
Yeah, that's the Facebook.
There shouldn't be another veteranshonoringveterans.org though.
Okay.
Right.
We've got that tied up. We own that.
Well, I know I'm sharing it.
I got to find out who they are.
Yeah. Well, you know what, Bart, I would like to offer you thanks first off for being our first guest. And Publio, please, if you have anything that you would like to say, was there anything special that you learned today from Bart, or is there anything that you would like to ask him or say?
Well, actually, I really am just impressed. One of the things that make me feel good about being a veteran and having served is just the people that I come in contact with because of it. I mean, Bart, you're an inspiration, and I don't want to. And I think you're right. Zach is an inspiration too. What Zach does is phenomenal, and I'm always in awe, and I'm in awe of both you gentlemen. Actually, all three.
I tell
Your
you
dad
what,
too.
we got a pretty good group of great guys right here, and that's what it takes. And I'm proud to be associated with all of you, and that hopefully we can continue this relationship in more than one way.
Well, I'll tell you this, Bart, we ain't going anywhere. We're going to be an annoyance until you get rid of us. So
You'll get a bother, and you'll probably be trying to get rid of us by
Well, I tell you what, as long as there's veterans out there, I'll be doing this as long as I'm able. I got you by a year, Zach or Clayton. So
Yeah.
we're both up there. I just hit that 3/4 of a century, and I thought, oh no, but no, I'm fine. Feel great.
feel great. Yep.
yeah, you had to go and do that 70, 50-year thing. I was born in 71, and yeah,
Born
so
70.
yeah, and I was like going, oh my God, that reminds me, I'm about ready to go 52. So damn, that means you're old.
Yeah.
Yeah. You're a member of the Half a Hun Club.
Yeah.
Have fun.
Half a hun. I like that. Yeah,
I think the truth about it is that birthday thing. You're just 1 second older on your birthday, right?
Yep.
That's it. You're just 1 second older. That's a
I tell everybody
Get that
enjoy the
age
day. I say enjoy the day before.
right.
Yeah.
Enjoy that day before, because you don't know what's going to happen the day after.
Once
Well,
you're out,
You
right?
ain't ever going to be any younger either.
That's
So
right. Hey, I got another place. I got to be. I would like to go ahead and get permission, sir, to bail out just a little bit early, and you can tell the truth about me after I'm gone.
I couldn't tell more of the truth than what I've already told. Bart,
Yeah.
thank you very much for joining us.
Thank you.
Hey,
Yeah, Bart, it was
I'll
a
be I'll
pleasure.
be in touch with you and send you those forms, and then we'll work out when we can get the family together. Gentlemen, thank you very much for being part of a great country, even though we're trying to tear it apart from the inside.
Yep. Well, my love to you, and I hope to see you here in about 2 weeks.
Okay. God bless
All
you
right.
guys.
God bless.
All right. Thank you. Bart Bartholomew. Get back
Yep.
on here. He hung up and I took you off the screen. What a wonderful first guest, huh?
Yeah, he was fantastic. I really am very impressed that it touched me. It immediately thought about some people that I know that deserve. I hate to use the word deserve, but I guess that this level of respect and honor would be beneficial to them.
It is, Publio, like I said, it's one of those things that they don't base this off a deserve thing. It's if you served, it's yours. That's and I think that's one of the coolest things about it is it's not full of a bunch of stipulations. It's not if you were in war. We only deal with pre or post 9/11, or you've got to be of certain height or anything like that. This is, what? If you raised your right hand, you served honorably. We've got something for you, and I respect the hell out of that.
Yeah,
So, but Deb, do you have any final words you want to say?
Well, I just know, that life and it's going to continue, and we're up for some problems.
Yeah.
So being together, being a group, that I don't like that either, that word group, right? But being together, that's a good thing.
Yeah.
We're possibly heading for problems, but folks, we just showed you 4 people right here that where who knows? Definitely backgrounds are a little bit different. Politics may be a little bit different. Whatever that is, we're still together looking for a positive way to change things. Look, we can get along no matter who you voted for, no matter, if you're Muslim, I'm Christian, you're Muslim, whatever. I'm Buddhist. None of that matters. We're all human beings. And this right here is one of those shows that I think we can do a lot, Publio. Myself, my father when he wants to join, and all of our guests. I think
That's
that our
awesome.
goal is to make sure that people understand, look, we're in this to make a difference.
Yeah. And I'll be honest with you, times are tough right now for us veterans and for the military and for the civilians. But I have faith in the American people. I think that we're going to fix it. And I think that it's going to be wonderful, and it's going to prove that we still have that spirit. But bear in mind, just got finished reading the biography of General Grant from the Civil War, and then now I'm reading a book called Hunter Killers about the Vietnam wild weasels. So I'm a little motivated right now, but I think we're going to do well. I think we'll recover. I have faith.
Yeah, that the book, and I'll have to look it up, but the book that was written about Grant, it's like 50 hours long. I can't remember who wrote it. One of my favorite books of all time. You really get to go into somebody. I also listened to a really good book on one of our most troubled heroes of all time, Patton. He had a lot of issues. He wasn't a good guy by no means, but
he was a man. It wasn't like he was.
Yeah, and he was dedicated to this country. That's it. Mm-hmm. He was dedicated to this country 100%. So
he was amazing, though. I mean, Patton, he was an Olympian. He had fought. He was he was the first person to use mobilized or mobile vehicles with weapons, fighting Pancho Villa.
Yeah.
He developed a sword that'll be the best version of the sword ever. I mean, the guy was phenomenal. But he was kind of he was a hard ass. But I mean, he was a man's man.
Yep. So, Publio.
Yes, sir.
Great first show. Yeah.
Yes. It's always good to see you, and it's nice to see you. I'm gonna just call you Dad. That's okay?
That's fine.
Yeah, Dad or Jerry.
Just say, hey, you. That's okay.
Just call him Pops. That's fine. So,
it's good to see you, sir. Thank you for your service too.
Thank you for yours. And that's 20 years. That's great.
It helps support my ex-wives.
That's important, right?
I hope my wife's not watching.
We don't want to go there. All right. Well, brother, man, again, I want to thank you so very much.
Yes, sir.
And we will see you next month when we do this again. We're going to make sure that we get a couple more guests on, introduce you guys to some more people. But thank you for having us here on your first show, and I will talk to you soon, okay?
Yes, sir. Bye-bye.
All right. Hey, we are going to end this first segment of the show by showing you the video of the individual we've been talking about, the great Mr. Z.
It's ugly.
Ugly.
Well, thank you, sir.
Well, thank you for coming down.
Sure enough. Might do a little.
Okay, so I just realized, sorry about this, folks. I just realized that we've been going through that whole show with no sound. Okay, so I just realized, sorry about this. Yeah, now I got. I just realized that we've been going through that whole show. Okay, so and now I got sound coming from freaking everywhere. Go figure. Anyway, you know what? I'm going to go on ahead and I'm going to restart the interview at the top of the hour with Jeff. I encourage you to please check it out. One of the reasons why Jeff and I we did our little thing together is because of head injuries. And if you know anybody who's experienced a head injury, it's kind of a different world. Look, every injury is different. You know, when it comes to something like the things that happen to men and women are different. But as we state in this, if you break your arm, they cast your arm heals. They're going to do that with you. They're going to do that with me. They're going to do that with, Tchotchke next door. That's kind of what they do. That doesn't happen with brain injuries, okay? With brain injuries, let me try this again in English. With brain injuries, it's a lot of tinkering around. The headaches today, that was part of what I go through. They went and he stuck a needle deep underneath my skull, a couple needles deep underneath my skull, and got into the nerves. It's not comfortable. Seems to be working right now. Keeping fingers crossed and going, oh, geez, please let that stay that way. Jeff started Hydro with Hope because of what they found when he was a 2-week-old baby. Okay. He talks about how difficult it is. And my first son, I remember his first birthday. They went to go put tubes in his ears. I was an emotional wreck. And that was a very, very small operation. They're talking about brain surgeries. So please, please, please watch this show at the end of, or at the 7 o'clock Mountain Hour, 9 o'clock East. If not, it's going to be on our YouTube channel. Yeah, thank God my brain's working right. I can't speak, but maybe the doctor did everybody a little bit of good and they made it to where I can't talk anymore. Boy, man, I'd be screwed. I really would. Anyway, so sorry that I just wasted 45 minutes of your time. Little disappointed in myself, but it happens. Technology is technology, and well, that's kind of technology. I would like to share something with you guys. We announced it last week. I am so thrilled that we got to announce it. And that is on December 3rd. Now I'm blanking out on this. Yeah, fixed me real well. I believe it's December 3rd. We are hosting. Yes, it's December 3rd. And no, now I can't get it to stop playing. We are back. We're hosting the 6th annual Chili Cook-Off and Book Drive. Very, very simple program. What we're doing is we're asking you to bring in books or purchase books from us. And when you purchase these books, like The Goddess of the Grapes, Stephanie Samos did with this one, we ask you to write on the inside, on the inside of the book. This is from the Samos family. And to our little hero. And then the nurse is going to write a name underneath where it says our little hero. And we're going to give this book to a child in the hospital who is going through a difficult time. Okay. They're in one of the pediatric wards in northern Colorado. And I encourage you guys to do something similar to this in your area. If you would like our help getting it set up, there's not a lot we can do. Well, there's nothing we can do financially. But if you know somebody who would like to participate in this, even if you just want to put a drop box in a couple stores, we have a couple ideas on how you can make that fun for the kids in your area. Contact me. Let's talk about it. Collect some books. Give them to your local hospital. Have people sign those books. Give them to the kids. Hospitals are really, really edgy right now about taking in toys due to COVID, other diseases. It is what it is. Don't fight them. It is what it is. Take in books. Books can be wiped off. Books can be disinfected. They can be cleaned. Books also offer you the opportunity to do something that you can't do with a toy. You can write your family name in there. You can leave it blank so somebody can, so a nurse can write a child's name on there. And when that child gets that book, for the rest of their life, they're going to look up and they're going to see who that book was from. And it's going to say something to them that this family cared enough about me to give me this book. It's a program that I'm enjoying. I really am. My beautiful wife, she got the experience of it last year. And she enjoyed it. She had a lot of fun. I didn't do a good job on asking her to, on instructing her, because I'm kind of a wackadoo when it comes to those things, but I'm learning, I hope. So if you would like to get a hold of me, my little QR code up in the corner, that is my For My Card. For My Card is one of our sponsors of this show. For My Card is so much better than one of these things. Okay. I love these things. Don't get me wrong. I love these things. You can do a lot with these things, but the one thing that you cannot do with this thing, I can't touch that phone number and make a phone call. You go to my For My Card, you touch the phone number, you're going to make a phone call. You go to my email on this, you touch that, it's not going to send an email. My For My Card, it will. You can alter your For My Card whenever you need to. Say you get a phone number change, you change your mission statement, you update your mission statement, you do something else. It gives you that opportunity to change it. Check out For My Card at formycard.com. I cannot say enough about them. It's a wonderful family. It's a great technology, and it's a wonderful small business that will give to a wonderful mission that you choose simply by shopping with them. I would like to go on ahead and play this video for you. This is about our chili cook-off that, once again, it's back, year number 6. Oh, you know what? I need to do this first, because if I do this, it's not going to, there's not going to be any sound. And if there's no sound, you can't hear it. So, but there we go. Okay. once again thank Bartholomew. You saw the little spot there for veterans, honoring veterans again. I love this guy. I love him with all my heart. He's one of my better friends. He just such a genuine, kind, caring individual that goes out of his way to honor our heroes. And so him being the first guest on honoring our heroes, both country and community, it just worked perfect. I also want to thank my co-host, Publio Casillas. Thank you, sir. Great job. First show. We didn't even have any problems with the first episode till you guys disappeared and I was left to my own. And then all of a sudden, I kind of forgot what the heck I was doing. So now I get to try to do something I've never done before, and I get to try to edit this. Please, please, please make sure that you're going ahead and stick around for the next hour and watch this next program with Jeff, because it really is neat. It's a great program, and I think that you guys will enjoy it. Until next week, my name is Zach Clayton, Community Dare to Care, Community Pay It Forward, and the PACT channels. I want to thank you, and I, again, want to please beg everyone's forgiveness. I have really dropped the ball the last couple weeks with some health issues. We're tried to take some steps today to make that a little bit better, but please forgive me, and we will do better. If you need me, there it is, QR code with the big fat head in it. That's my QR code for my card. All you got to do is scan it, and you'll get me. Until next week, when Stephanie and I bring you another Stephanie from the Aziza Project for the Community Pay It Forward One Hope Wine fundraising event. My name is Zach Clayton. Thank you so very much. Please take care of each other. Make sure you love somebody out there, because somebody out here loves you. No one needs to go it alone when we all come together. Have a great week.
Stepping out of her fear, bring me home. Out alone, show me the way. You wanna be a part of Sunset Boulevard.